Last time on the Mario Marathon, I talked about Super Mario 3D Land and Shadow Sean came back to life to make me talk about the new Super Mario Bros. Series. Yeah, that's about it. Enjoy! Back in the mid-2000s, Nintendo created the Nintendo DS, one of Nintendo's best systems to this day. With so many great games like Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Final Fantasy IV 3D Remake, and the first of the 4 games we'll be talking about today. The new Super Mario Bros. Series. A series of games that started off as a cute callback to the series' beginning, but as the time went, it slowly lost what made it cool at the time, and eventually lost its identity. More on that later. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, how about we go and talk about the new Super Mario Bros. Series? You might be surprised that I actually changed my opinion on one of these games. Hey, I hope you don't mind, but I had to get a change of clothes real quick. I can't wait to be done with these games and kick your ass out, dude. Just talk about the damn series. I know your weakness. It's water. Just like Shadow Mario from Mario Sunshine. Because in this channel, we don't do original shit. Let's get into it. New Super Mario Bros., the first game in this godforsaken series. If only we knew what waited for us. However, how does the first game in the series compare to the rest? Well, quite a lot actually. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is the best game in the new series. Okay, I know. This game may have been new when it came out 20 years ago? This game is 20 years old? Where has the time gone? Like I was saying, I know this isn't exactly new these days, but the reason for why it's called that is pretty clever. Before this game came out, the last 2D Mario game was Super Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy, all the way back in 1992. Yeah, it took 14 years for the series to have a new 2D entry, hence the new in the title. It's pretty cool. It's like Nintendo is saying that Mario is back to his roots. And I mean old roots. Because guess what happens in the story? Peach gets kidnapped again. Only that this time, the returning Bowser Jr. is the one who does the kidnapping. Not bad, kid. From then on, Mario must travel through 8 different worlds to save Peach again. Just like in Super Mario Bros. 3, the worlds have their own unique themes. I'm willing to look past it because at the time, it was a return to form, easing in both newcomers and veterans to this familiar world. World 1, the typical Mario world. I do like how in the first level, we get to see Peach's castle in the background. It was something we've never seen in the series up to this point. What can I say about this world aside from it being very simple? Not that it's a bad thing, considering it's the first one, meant to teach you the mechanics of the game and prepare you for the challenges ahead. And playing for the first time what is basically considered the main theme of the new series. We reach the castle and face off against Bowser, a nice callback to the first game on the NES. We jump over his ass and press the switch only to... Well, damn! Mario just straight up murdered that guy! World 2, the desert world. Like I said multiple times, I do not like desert areas in video games. I don't like looking at sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. There are a couple of standouts though. The sewer level is pretty cool. It's easy to forget sometimes, but Mario is a plumber, so playing a level in the sewers feels just like home. There's also a couple of Oasis levels that are pretty fun as well. And the castle level is so good. Something I really like about it is the twist surrounding it. Depending on whether you beat the level as normal Mario or mini Mario, you'll get to unlock either World 3 or World 4. That's a pretty cool way to add replay value, while also adding a challenge. The boss fight against Mummy Pucky, I don't know if I said that correctly, is pretty cool. That's something that the game does really well, and that is making some normal enemies into straight up bosses. I'll talk about them later, but damn, they're pretty cool. World 3, the beach world. Unlike the desert areas in video games, I love beach themed levels. Sadly, they are barely any beaches in this beach world. No, seriously, the levels are either at the bottom of the ocean or someplace that doesn't even resemble a beach. The funny yet sad part is that the best levels have barely to no water at all. This world is kinda mid. World 4, Jungle or Forest World, depending on your mood. Oh yeah, this is a great world. Before this, the closest thing we got to a jungle in a Mario game was Super Mario Land 2 with a forest area. I know it's not the same, but the forest has trees. You know what else has trees? Jungles. Boom! I rest my case. For real though, this world is pretty fun. Getting to swing on some vines and make sure we don't fall on the poisonous water is really fun. We even get to ride Dory! Now this is peak gaming. World 5, Snow World. This is another great world. Like I said, it's a snow-themed world, and it has the most consistent levels, theme-wise at least. And just like World 2, depending if you're normal or Mini Mario, you either go to World 6 or World 7. World 6, the Mountain World. The most inconsistent world. Not because of the quality of the levels, because the levels are really good. Rather, the themes of set levels. Sure, there's moments where you'll be in mountains, but other times you'll go through a desert level, a beach level, snow level, and straight up a jungle. I understand the sand level because I assume in the mountains there's sand. I understand the snow level because there's mountains where there's snow. I may even understand the water level because of hot springs or whatever. But jungle? Why? Show me a jungle where there's mountains. Oh, okay, I googled it and there are, okay. You know what, I take it back. This is one of the only worlds with not one, but 2 fortress levels. And the castle level, oh, I love it so much. World 7, Sky World. Well, it sure is the sky. The level with tons of auto-scrolling levels. This is undoubtedly my least favorite world. However, I do want to add that it has 2 levels I actually really like. For example, the Giant Wiggler level. I really like walking all over it, fight enemies, and get those giant coins. It's a pretty fun level. And also the Pipe level. Again, we are a plumber, so this feels close to home. And look at that cute little worm. Aww. I don't like that there's a lot of auto-scrolling levels. Oh, auto-scrollings in Mario games, when will it end? World 8, the Dark/Lava World. I do like how this isn't the typical last world for the rest of the new series. It starts by going through a dark forest, even if there isn't a dark forest level. And then the second half is the lava section of the world. I love the levels where a volcano is involved one way or another. Basically every level ever. Like the one where you have to climb yourself out of a volcano. How the hell did Mario get himself in there? The one where you have to dodge falling debris? Oh, so fun. And then there's the final level in the game, the big ass castle. It's gotta be one of the best final levels in this series. The castle will go topsy-turvy on your ass, and I enjoy every second. Once we reach the final boss, Mario fights both against Bowser Jr. and a giant ass Bowser. An easy boss fight, but a satisfying conclusion. Peach gives Mario a kiss on the cheek, and our adventure is over. Yeah, the worlds may not be creative and honestly pretty simple, but when you have great level design for the most part, then I can't really complain. Earlier in the video I mentioned 2 boss fights. Usually in the new games, you fight the Koopalings time and time again. Thankfully, in this game, every boss fight is actually original. I already mentioned Bowser in World 1 and Mummy Pokey in World 2, but there's moments where the game will go absolutely insane with the bosses. In World 3, you fight against a fish. Not that interesting. However, in World 4, you fight a giant-ass Goomba. Let me rephrase that. You fight a Goomba that becomes a giant. I don't even care that it's easy as hell. It's so much fun. That's not even the crazy part. Guess who you fight in World 5? Go on, guess. Mother flipping Petey Piranha. Yeah, Petey Piranha is in a 2D Mario game. Gotta be one of my favorite bosses in the game. Yeah, it's super easy, and honestly, I'm more enamored with the idea of fighting Petey over actually doing it. But it's still so cool. In World 6, you fight a Monty Mole in a tank. Where was this creativity in the rest of the new series? In World 7, you fight Lucky Thunder. Alakidu with a cloud that shoots lightning is much more aggressive? Yes, please! In World 8, before you go to the final castle, there's another smaller one, and you fight against Dry Bowser! The first time in the series he ever appears! It's still super easy, don't get me wrong. He throws his bones like in the original fight against him in the original game. Was that a callback? Maybe, maybe not. Still cool! The collection of boss fights in this game are so damn fun, leaving us with the best collection of bosses in any 2D Mario game. Yes, that includes Super Mario Wonder, but I'll leave it for that video. However, I did forget to mention that in every tower level, you have to fight Bowser Jr. Every single time. They're all easy, so you won't miss much. The power-ups are back once again. We get the Super Mushroom, the Fire Flower, and the Starman. However, the bosses aren't the only new thing this game brought. We also get 3 new power-ups, like the Mega Mushroom. It is exactly what it sounds like, a mushroom that makes you a giant. This is cool on paper and can be quite exhilarating the first couple of times. It's similar to the Superstar in regards that you're invincible against normal enemies. Again, cool concept, but it's done better in Mario Kart. The Mini Mushroom transforms Mario into a small insect. Really floaty, but fun. Mario can run on water, and when you defeat the bosses for both World 2 and 5, you'll unlock World 4 and 7. Really neat stuff. You'll still die in one hit though, so that sucks. And the Blue Koopa Shell. Well, what can I say about it? It's a shell. You run and get inside the shell. And roll around. It's an alright power-up. They're not the craziest thing ever, but they are a nice addition to this game. What makes New Super Mario Bros. On the DS such an interesting game in the series is the combination of 2D and 3D. Not like in 3D Land where 2D Mario meets 3D Mario. In this game, it's the complete opposite. It truly feels like Mario from the 3D games was brought to the 2D world. Like, Mario can do a triple jump, he can wall jump, ground pound. It helps that he controls like a dream in this game. Maybe the best he's ever controlled in a 2D game. You can truly feel the new in this game. Just like in games like Super Mario World, you can discover secret passages and either skip levels or even worlds via a cannon. Seriously, how is this guy even alive? Another way you can unlock other levels is by collecting the star coins. They're not that hard to find, but it's still pretty fun to discover. Another cool thing about this game is that if you do a secret combination, you can also play as Luigi. What's cool about this is that you can unlock him from the very beginning of the game, and you can play as him throughout the whole adventure. That is super cool. There's another way you can play as Luigi though, but more on that later. New Super Mario Bros. Also brings back the minigames from Super Mario 64 DS. I won't focus much on them since they're pretty much the same thing as in 64 DS. They're a nice distraction from the main game. But remember when I said there was another way you could play as Luigi? Of course you do, I said it less than 2 minutes ago. Well, take a look at the box art real quick. What do you see? Mario chasing Luigi, right? If you look down there, what does it say? Mario versus Luigi? Well, if you have a friend or siblings who has an extra DS, you'll be able to play local multiplayer and kick each other's ass. This is one of the best multiplayer experiences you'll have on the DS. It's fun and chaotic. Reminds me of another game we'll talk about later on. As far as I'm concerned, this is what makes the game so special. Trying to get the stars or even killing each other is so damn fun. Undoubtedly, my favorite thing in the whole game. I just wish I could play it as much as I wanted. New Super Mario Bros. Is still a great game 20 years later. The new game mechanics, worlds, power-ups, and game modes are really solid. The level design is tight, and the bosses are cool, if a bit too easy. Despite that, this is the best new Super Mario Bros. Game without a shadow of a doubt. And although the games that follow aren't as good, to say the least, the original is still unscathed and is the undisputed GOAT of the new series. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Still great all these years later. Now, what came after?
New Super Mario Brothers! Whee!
New Super Mario Bros. Wii is the first 2D Mario game to be on a console since Super Mario World. What the hell took them so long? They had 2 different consoles, there were no excuses. Here I'm wondering why they gave it the new title as well, but considering the things they add in this game, I think it's alright. Things they added? Like, oh I don't know, a new plot? Well, no. Mario, Luigi, and 2 random toads are in Peach's castle celebrating her birthday. A giant cake appears, but it turns out to be the returning Koopalings. They kidnap Peach, and it is up to us to go save her again. Gameplay-wise, if you played New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, or any of the other 2D games before this, then it's about as you expect. Assuming you're playing the game with the Wii Remote sideways. Mario remains the same as in the DS game. However, the spin jump returns for this game. It's a nice addition to the game. If you flick the remote in midair, Mario will do a small twirl, keeping your momentum intact. The worlds are exactly the same: grass, desert, beach, etc. The only thing this game adds is an extra world once you beat the game, and collect all the star coins in said worlds. Here, the hardest levels in the game take place. 9-7, that's all I'm gonna say. You can use those star coins to buy skill videos, basically the developer showing you how good they are at the game. Yeah, no one plays like that in multiplayer. The game also has you rescue the toads. A toad gets captured inside a block, and you gotta help it. At the end, you'll get mushrooms. Maybe it's not that worth it. Speaking of mushrooms, the power-ups. We got the standard mushroom, fire flower, and starman. They work the exact same way. Returning from DS is the mini mushroom, and that's it. Yeah, no mega mushroom or blue Koopa shell. Kind of a bummer really, but it's not really a big deal. Also returning is the ice flower from Super Mario Galaxy. Unlike that game, Mario doesn't become an ice sculpture. It's just a weaker version of the fire flower. But as you will see, this power-up becomes obsolete when a cooler, no pun intended, power-up shows up. Our newest power-ups are the propeller mushroom. Mario wears this outfit. When you flick the controller, Mario will fly off in the air and slowly fall down. This is a pretty fun power-up. Look at him, he looks adorable. And my favorite power-up in the series, the penguin suit. What makes this power-up so cool, pun intended this time, is that Mario will literally act like a penguin. No, seriously. He can walk and run on ice without slipping, he can slide on ice with his belly, he can swim much faster like the frog suit, only that he's also useful on land, and he can also throw ice balls to enemies, making the ice flower pretty useless when you think about it. Yoshi is also back for this game. He plays exactly how you expect. If you eat a couple apples, he'll shit out power-ups. That's disgusting, but hey, I'll take it. If you're a stinky baby, Luigi will become a guide for you. Just like in Galaxy, this feels condescending, so I don't recommend it. Wait, Luigi? Why isn't he playable? He was playable in DS. Well, that's where multiplayer comes in. The cool thing about New Super Mario Bros. Wii is the chaotic multiplayer. You can play with up to 4 players in the game. If you want the full New Super Mario Bros. Wii experience, definitely play it on multiplayer. Trust me, the level design is really boring otherwise. You can really tell this was made to be playable with at least 2 people. Otherwise, it's not really the greatest game. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is a really good game. Sure, the level themes may be the same as the last game, the boss fights are mid, and it may borrow a lot from DS. However, with fun multiplayer, great power-ups, and the returning Yoshi, we got a game that is still really fun with a friend or siblings, or even alone. I give this game an 8 out of 10. Yeah, not as good as DS, but still pretty solid. Maybe this series ain't so bad after all. It got bad. First of all, let's talk about the confusing name. It's called New Super Mario Bros. 2, but it's the 3rd game in the series. Acting as a direct sequel to DS, but also a follow-up to Wii? What are the rules, damn it? New Super Mario Bros. 2 is the most boring, most bare bones, most soulless game in the entire series, and it's not even a contest. Let's discuss. Mario and Luigi head out to collect some coins, and Peach gets kidnapped by the Koopalings. Yet again. Riveting. The worlds you explore are the exact same thing as in DS and Wii. I am willing to give this game props on something though. Usually in the new games, you explore each world separately, while in this game, they combine two worlds into one. For example, in World 3, they combine the beach with the forest. I like to call this the tropical island world. I think it fits. And in World 4, they combine the mountain and snow. I call it Snowy Peak. Again, cute idea, but it still doesn't change anything. The levels are still kinda boring. I do like the new worlds they added though, Mushroom and Flower World. Sure, the level themes may not have changed, but the level designs for those worlds are pretty fun. For the most part. Speaking of not changing anything, did you like the soundtrack on both DS and Wii? Yeah? You didn't mind that it was basically the same thing, unless we're talking about the castle levels? Okay, fine. Because that's all you're getting here! No, seriously, the soundtrack has not changed one bit. Like, even 3D Land had the courtesy to have original pieces of music and not just reuse the same tracks for Galaxy 1 and 2. The only thing that changes here is that there's much more bass in the tracks. And yes, it is really annoying. Guess that's their idea of originality. I guess you could say they were not striving for originality. Yeah! At least the way you unlock secret worlds is kinda cool. You'll get shot off a cannon, and you basically play a prototype of Super Mario Run. I kinda dig it. The visuals are pretty different, making me wish the game was more experimental with its visuals. I didn't mention the boss fights on Wii, and for good reason. They are nothing. Well, you'd be surprised to know that New Super Mario Bros. 2 copy-pasted the bosses from that game. Gee, at least try to seem like you're trying, Nintendo. I'm willing to give them props on something, and that is giving this game an actual gimmick. The whole point of this game is to collect coins. Yep, that's the thing. In most Mario games, coins don't really mean all too much, and until the last 3D Mario game, they still don't. I guess I can give them credit for actually making the coins semi-useful in this game. My main issue is that once you collect 100 coins, you get a 1-up. In a game where you can collect hundreds of coins in one level, making it impossible to get a game over in this game. Literally impossible. Making this the easiest Mario game of all time as well. I don't care about the difficulty as long as the game is fun. I like the Kirby series after all, but damn! It feels like the game is treating me more like a toddler than the series with a pink ball that is a literal baby. Back to the coins. You get them by doing literally anything. Kill an enemy, coins. Beat a level, coin. Kiss yourself in the mirror, coins. Take a shit, coins. It's all coins. And that even goes to this game's new and only power-up, the Golden Flower. Shoot enemies with it and you get more coins. Oh yeah, power-ups. In New Super Mario Bros. 2, there's the Super Mushroom, Mega Mushroom, Mini Mushroom, Fire Flower, Starman, and the returning Raccoon Tail. I can't even get excited about that. But how could I forget? This game also got DLC! The first and only Mario game to have DLC. Yeah, we can't get DLC for Mario Odyssey, but God forbid if we don't have it for New Super Mario Bros. 2! How are these extra levels? Some of them are cute, I guess, like one with the callbacks to other, far better games. And then there's the ones with the worst level design known to man. Look at this shit, my god! Who thought this was a good idea? What's the reward for collecting 9,999,999 coins? I shit you not, that's the biggest amount. You get a golden statue of Raccoon Mario. New Super Mario Bros. 2 is an obvious step down from the two new games. It barely added something new to it, but it just wasn't fun. The coin gimmick could work, but not for a game like this. I feel like this would have worked much better if they made it a Wario Land game. But like we already know, Nintendo hates that series, so we won't ever see it come back. My beloved Wario! Like I was saying, this game is really mediocre. I might even say bad. Not even the DLC can save it. I give it a 4 out of 10. Now that we're done with the worst game in the new series, we can finally move on to the last game. You could say this is the final countdown! This game came out not even 5 months after the second game. Is this game bad? No. Is it good? Well, let's see. Listen, I'm mixed on this game. There's things I like about it, but there's also some stuff I don't. How does this game start? Mario and his friends are in Peach's castle. Bowser shows up with a ship that has a claw and throws everyone outside the castle. Okay, that's a nice change of pace. Yeah, Peach is still kidnapped inside her castle, but at least it's something different. I might even say... new? I wonder what World 1 is gonna be. Oh, I see it! I see it! The possibilities are endless! And it's... a grassy world. Again. Damn you, Nintendo! Look, even though the world themes are still the same, literally nothing changed, I gotta give the props on the visuals. This is easily the prettiest game in the new series. The backgrounds are gorgeous, from the wreckage ship to even the painted level. Oh, it's so sexy! Something else I gotta give props to the game is the world map. For the first time since Super Mario World, or Super Mario Land 2 if you really want to count it, every world shares one big map. It's a pretty cool idea. It makes exploring the levels and finding the secret exits even more exciting. I can't believe it, but I'm about to give this game another positive. The soundtrack is actually different, kind of. Instead of the usual we get a new song, and it is pretty catchy. The final world being Peach's castle, it's really interesting, and a fun spin on the typical lava world. And the final fight with Bowser is pretty cool. Why am I complimenting this game so much? Good stuff, new Super Mario Bros. U. Returning from Wii are the Yoshis, but also from Mario World are the baby Yoshis. They have their own unique abilities, and they are... serviceable. Although I don't really like them all too much, I gotta give them props for actually trying new stuff in this new game, even if it's not the craziest thing ever. There's the Balloon Baby Yoshi, which inflates itself as a balloon. It's okay. The Bubble Baby Yoshi, it will shoot bubbles off his mouth and immediately kill them. You can even jump on said bubbles. Not bad, Baby Yoshi. Not bad at all. You're the best one. And then there's the Glowing Baby Yoshi. It glows. That's it. You can't even take him with you after beating a level. Man, this Yoshi is useless. The bosses are surprisingly decent this time around. Sure, it's the Koopalings again, but they're pretty decent now. They're easy as hell though, but come on. At this point, I'll take anything that resembles originality. But like I said, they're pretty easy and kind of pathetic. Also, Boom Boom debuts in the new series. But just like every fight with Boom Boom, it's pathetic. Look at that shit. We also get the debuting Nabbit. Now here's a fun fact. I actually really like Nabbit. Maybe it's the design or chase, but I actually like him. The power-ups are all back. Mushroom, Fire Flower, Starman, Penguin, Propeller, Ice Flower, and Mini Mushroom. But we also get a new power-up, the Super Acorn. Mario transformed into a squirrel. He'll be able to float, cling to a wall, you name it. Not my favorite, but it's still kinda nice. The game also added a challenge mode. I didn't play it, but it's there. And the multiplayer is just as chaotic. That's how it's supposed to be. Huh. I guess this game took me by surprise. It's not that bad. Sure, the level design ain't nothing special, but it has its moments. I think I like this game. Sure, it's unoriginal with most of its ideas, but at the very least, it is fun for the most part. Yeah, the game may be easy and the level themes are boring as hell yet again. Is it a bad game? Hell no! Is it unoriginal and bland with its world themes? Oh yeah! But for a game in this series, I had fun! Much more than I anticipated on this replay. Months ago, I would have given the game a 5 out of 10, but now, I give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe even a 7. Nowhere near as good as the other new games. Actually, compared to the latest 2D Mario game, this is pretty cheap. But I think it's good for what it is. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was the new Super Mario Bros. Series. I was actually decently surprised that I actually enjoy my time with New Super Mario Bros. U. I did not expect that at all. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta go deal with Shadow Shunk real quick. Okay. You keep forgetting, Shadow Shunk. This is my damn channel. Look, a play button! A play button? Where? Get hit with the Puerto Rican elbow drop, biatch! There's only one way to truly defeat Shadow Shunk.
What are you gonna do to me?
I must do a ritual. Talk with the gods of gaming. And then I can trap your soul into something. But what can I trap your soul in? Perfect. Dale tu cuerpo. No, my dignity. Something in. No, I won't be the main villain of this marathon anymore. Hey, Macarena. Now, your soul is trapped here forever, Shadow Shunk. You won't interrupt me for the Mario Marathon ever again!
I'll always be with you forever.
How can you still talk? Whatever. I need to get cleaned up. Well, yeah, just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we finished the new Super Mario Bros. Series, and we are getting closer to ending the Mario Marathon, actually. So, we got 3D World, Mario Odyssey, and Super Mario Wonder. That's 3 games. So in the next video, we are going to focus on Super Mario 3D World. I almost said Land, but yeah, Super Mario 3D World. An actual, really good game, believe it or not. And don't worry, since I am going to talk about the Switch version of Super Mario 3D World, I am actually going to talk about Bowser's Fury as well. So it's kind of 2 games in one video, I guess? Nah, but still, I'll see you guys in the next video. Super Mario 3D Land plus Bowser's Fury. Sayonara, freakers! Bye-bye! Oh, a ball! No! I'm over here. I don't know what to say.